How to use Warp Stabilizer for After Effects motion tracking. If you have shaky footage and want to make it look smooth, you might be wondering how to use Warp Stabilizer in Adobe After Effects for motion tracking. Let's break down the process step by step. First, start by applying the Warp Stabilizer effect to your shaky footage layer. This effect will analyze your clip and work to remove any jitter by adjusting the position, scale, and rotation. The goal is to create a smoother motion that looks more professional. However, there is a catch. When you apply Warp Stabilizer, it modifies the footage by creating new pixel data. This means that if you try to perform motion tracking directly on the stabilized layer, you may end up with inaccurate results. The stabilized footage no longer matches the original pixel positions frame by frame, which can lead to drifting tracks. To avoid this issue, you should first let Warp Stabilizer finish analyzing and stabilizing your clip. Once that is done, the next step is to pre-compose the stabilized layer. Pre-composing means placing the stabilized footage inside a new composition. This allows you to treat it as a single layer, making it easier to work with. Now you can perform your motion tracking on this pre-composed layer. By tracking on the stabilized pre-composition, you ensure that the tracking data is smoother and more reliable. The jitter has been removed, so your tracking points will be more accurate. Alternatively, if your project requires precise original footage data for visual effects, you can track the motion first on the original footage. After you have completed the tracking, you can then apply Warp Stabilizer to smooth out the entire shot. This method allows you to keep the original motion data intact before stabilization. When you are ready to track motion, use the Tracker panel to set tracking points. You can either track features that should remain as stationary or track moving objects, depending on what your project needs. In summary, the best way to use Warp Stabilizer in conjunction with motion tracking is to stabilize your footage first, then pre-compose the stabilized clip. This method helps you avoid common problems with jittery or drifting tracks that can occur when tracking directly on altered pixels. Following these steps will help you achieve smoother motion tracking in Adobe After Effects.